It came from beyond our solar system, a mysterious wanderer gliding through the cosmic darkness. After disappearing behind the sun, it had now reappeared. The interstellar visitor was back, but this time it was glowing more strangely than ever. For a brief moment, the universe seemed to change. A brilliant flash of light erupted in the night sky, and for 6 minutes the interstellar object known as 3 Atlas was 4 times brighter than before. Every major observatory on Earth recorded the same extraordinary flash. The James Webb Telescope quickly confirmed that this was no ordinary cosmic explosion. It was something extraordinary, a phenomenon that defied the laws of physics. Within hours, global space networks were rerouting missions, adjusting satellites and Mars orbiters to track the anomaly. Then silence fell. Scientists who once openly shared their findings are now refusing to speak out. If the universe has just sent us a precise signal, it means it's trying to tell us something. It all started in a quiet town in northern Germany. Under a clear night sky, amateur astronomer Maria Schultz pointed her 12-inch telescope at a faint green object called 3 Atlas. She was hoping to record a normal observation, but the light line on her screen suddenly went vertical, a precise sharp jump, like the pulse of something alive in the darkness. Maria checked every parameter from the star calibration to the humidity, but everything was perfect. The light increased by 1 ch magnitude, lasted exactly 6 minutes, and then disappeared half an hour later. Astronomers in Brazil, New Zealand, and Arizona recorded the same phenomenon, a single pulse of light exactly the same to the minute. It began as a personal observation and turned into a global data storm, spreading across social media under the hashtag Atlasan Anomaly. When university labs got involved, the results confirmed there was no technical error. Skywatch Collective, an international citizen science network, verified the phenomenon as real. No comet or asteroid had ever exhibited such a flare. Even Comet 17P Holmes in 2007 took 2 days to reach a similar brightness. 3 Atlas took just minutes, defying all existing physics models. For the first few hours, science and passion merged. Some called it the biggest discovery since Oumuamua. Others whispered that it wasn't a comet. Then the object faded and it went silent. Hundreds of telescopes waited for a second, burst, but never saw one. And in the midst of that silence, the only question that lingers is this the first sign that the universe has just opened its eyes? The discovery spread faster than any scientific announcement in modern history. Within hours, observatories from Chile to Japan pointed their telescopes at the same point in the sky, Germany North in Hawaii. The Very Large Telescope VLT in Chile and China's Fast Radio, FAST, all canceled their original research schedules to focus on a single target, 3I Atlas. For the first time in years, the international across every continent, scientists listened across AVE, and it was gay when converted to frequencies visible on a spectrogram. The pattern revealed something astonishing. A cursor waveform looping upon itself, forming the exact mathematical signature of the gravitati. The universe was humming its own blueprint. And as data poured in, one thing became clear. The source of the signal was still 3 Iato. The same region of space that had vanished weeks ago now pulsed again, not with light but with something deeper. Not radiation, not particles, but a tremor in existence itself. Every 22 minutes, space-time around Earth would contract by an infinitesimal fraction, and then release. Barely detectable, yet perfectly timed. As if someone, or something, were knocking on the door of reality. Astronomers stared at the data and whispered a word that had long been banished from scientific discussion. Intention. What if this was not a natural rhythm, but a call? Somewhere between philosophy and physics, the idea began to spread. Maybe the universe was not silent. Maybe it was how Michio Kaku described it poetically in an interview that would later be taken offline. If space-time can bend itself without mass, it's as if the universe has become self-aware, like it's adjusting its own heartbeat. But for every poetic thought there came a wave of fear, because something was wrong with the stars. Ryscopes, aimed toward the region where 3I Atlas once shimmered, now found a dark patch, not of emptiness, but of absence. The light from behind that patch didn't pass through, it didn't bend, it simply stopped, as if there was a hole in perception itself. No radiation, no infrared, not even background microwave echoes. The patch was smaller than a pixel on an image, but growing slowly, relentlessly. It wasn't expanding through space, it was expanding through time. Each observation showed it closer, not by light years, but by seconds. It was moving toward now. The universe has rules. One of them is causality, cause before effect, action before reaction. But 3I Atlas ignored that rule. Particles at the edge of the anomaly were observed decaying before they interacted. Cosmic rays arrived with energy levels impossible for their distance. Every reading screamed one impossible truth: time had folded. And if time could fold, then maybe so could distance. NASA's internal simulation, the few that leaked, that suggested that 3I Atlas wasn't traveling through the cosmos. It was rewriting the coordinates of reality around it, like drawing a circle on a map, then erasing the paper between 2 points. The shortest distance between 2 stars isn't a straight line, it's a fold. And perhaps 3I Atlas was demonstrating exactly that, an experiment so advanced, even gravity bowed to it. But what could possibly have the power to bend space-time deliberately? Kaku offered a thought, one that silenced the room. If this is artificial, it means we are not looking at technology. We are looking at physics itself being used as technology. Imagine a civilization so far beyond ours that they no longer build machines. They sculpt gravity. They write in space-time the way we write on paper. To them, black holes might be engines, stars might be tools, and light, what, just a brushstroke on a universal canvas. 3 Atlas could be their signature, or their message. In a classified briefing leaked months later, a NASA scientist described a sequence of recurring pulses embedded in the hum, a triplet rhythm, followed by silence. He called it a cosmic punctuation mark. It was as if the signal was not broadcasting, like it was listening, reacting to our own transmissions. Every time humanity sent a deep space ping, the hum shifted slightly in response, like an echo finding its source. And then came the discovery that changed everything. Hidden in the static of one of those transmissions was a frequency, with faint but real, what that matched the Schumann resonance, the natural retromagnetic heartbeat of Earth's atmosphere. In other words, 3I Atlas had tuned itself to our planet. Coincidence or communication? Scientists debated, argued, broke ranks. Some believed it was a gravitational phenomenon reflecting Earth's field. Others believed something else entirely. Law that 3I Atlas had found us. And the more we observed it, the closer it seemed to get. Astronomers compared historical data and found something chilling. Records of small, similar anomalies dating back decades. One faint, overlooked, lost in noise, all tracing the same vector. 3I Atlas wasn't new. It was approaching, slowly, patiently, as if it had always been coming. If that's true, then this might not be a random event in the cosmos. It might be part of a cycle, a pattern the universe repeats whenever consciousness within it reaches a certain point. Maybe every intelligent civilization, at some stage of awareness, discovers 3I Atlas, and in doing so, touches the edge of the infinite. We often ask whether we are alone. Maybe the real question is, are we first? Because if not, then perhaps what we're seeing now isn't just a ripple in space. It's a signature left behind by those who came before, an echo of their reach across the stars. The hum grows quieter now, but the silence it leaves feels heavier than sound, as though the universe itself is holding its breath. Maybe it's waiting for us to respond. 3I Atlas wasn't new. It was approaching, slowly, patiently, as if it had always been coming. If that's true, then this might not be a random event in the cosmos. It might be part of a cycle, a pattern the universe repeats whenever consciousness within it reaches a certain point. Maybe every intelligent civilization, at some stage of awareness, discovers 3I Atlas, and in doing so, touches the edge of the infinite. We often ask whether we are alone. Maybe the real question is, are we first? Because if not, then perhaps what we're seeing now isn't just a ripple in space. It's a signature left behind by those who came before, an echo of their reach across the stars. The hum grows quieter now, but the silence it leaves feels heavier than sound, as though the universe itself is holding its breath. Maybe it's waiting for us to respond. For days, data streamed from observatories worldwide. No one could pinpoint when the shift occurred. It hadn't been seen or felt or heard, it had been rewritten. And then, as quietly as it began, new signals emerged. Not from deep space, but from low Earth orbit. Declassified logs revealed faint gravitation effort. Each pulse carried the same spectral fingerprint as 3I Atlas, but mirrored as if bounced back from somewhere within Earth's own space-time curvature. Whatever 3I Atlas was, it was using our world as a resonator. The realization struck like lightning. If the anomaly could manipulate space-time remotely, then perhaps it was experimenting. Testing. how reality bends not in the void but where life exists. Michio Kaku spoke carefully in an interview. It's as if something is adjusting the cosmic constant, the tuning the universe, one note at a time, and somehow Earth has entered the melody. The metaphor fit too well, because deep within the interference scientists found another pattern, a structure resembling a fractal symphony. The rhythm of expansion, contraction, decay, rebirth, all encode in spacetime's hum. It was as if the cosmos were composing its own song, and we were the newest instrument. But what was the purpose? If 3I Atlas was a phenomenon, why aim its focus here? And if it was intelligence, and why now? One theory suggested it was a byproduct of cosmic evolution. As civilizations become advanced enough to manipulate energy and gravity, their activity ripples backward through time, the detectable long before they even exist. Meaning, 3I Atlas could be us, a reflection of our own future experiments echoing through the space-time continuum. Perhaps thousands of years from now humanity learns to bend reality, and that ripple travels back touching its own origin. If so, 3 Atlas wasn't alien. It was destiny. Others, however, believed something deeper, that we had been noticed. The hum's final transmission contained a unique pulse sequence, with 6 bursts of gravitational energy aligned perfectly with the Earth's rotation and the Moon's orbit. It was a synchronization gesture, a handshake between worlds, and just before it faded, one last anomaly appeared. Every telescope, from the Keck in Hawaii to the Volt in Chile, recorded a singular flash at the same time, a beam of light that didn't come from space, but from the edge of time itself. It lasted exactly 1.618 seconds. The golden ratio again, and then darkness. In that instant, every atomic clock on Earth jumped forward by precisely 0.00000061 seconds. Time itself had advanced. To most it meant nothing, but to those who understood, it was the signature. A perfect, deliberate alteration. Not destructive, not random, intentional. The universe had been touched, gently rewritten, and perhaps invited. What if this was the first step in communication, not through sound or symbols, but through the architecture of existence itself? A message carved in the curvature of time, a statement that says, "We see you." Imagine for a moment somewhere beyond our reach, a consciousness that doesn't use language, doesn't speak through radio or mathematics, but through the bending of space-time itself. To them, gravity is conversation, time is art, reality is the canvas. And what if, in their own way, they've been waiting for us to look up and finally listen? Kaku once said, "Perhaps the greatest illusion is that we are observers of the cosmos, when in truth, the cosmos is observing itself through us." Maybe 3I Atlas wasn't an object or a signal. Maybe it was a mirror, one that reflects what the universe becomes when it learns to dream of itself. Think about it. The hum, the golden ratio, the synchronicity, the silence, each event layered with precision too poetic for coincidence. It wasn't chaos, it was choreography. And that choreography whispered of a reality we've only begun to glimpse, one where thought and physics merge, where intelligence and space-time are one and the same. So what happens now? Perhaps nothing, perhaps everything. Maybe 3I Atlas will return. Maybe it already has, hidden in the folds of our perception, waiting for us to notice the next subtle shift, the next impossible bend. Until then, the universe will keep humming, and every heartbeat, every second, every photon traveling through the void will carry that echo. Ordinary, the echo of the moment space and time themselves look back. Ordinary, and maybe, just maybe, it wasn't a warning. Maybe it was a welcome, a soft voice in the cosmic dark saying, "We are here, and so are you."